Hello everyone, welcome to chemistry class. Here we are with chapter number 3, elements, compounds and mixtures. In this chapter we'll be learning how the various kind of substances around us are classified into these main categories, as you can see in the chapter title, elements, compound and mixture. Let us begin the class here. So we already have discussed about matter. What is matter? Or everything that surrounds us, and anything that takes mass and has weight is matter. And this matter is having different forms. It can be solid, it can be liquid, it can be gas. But we can classify this matter still into different categories, or we can say the substances can be classified still again into different categories. We already know matter exists in 3 states. Irrespective of this fact, we can categorize the different substance into 3 different varieties. So let us begin this classification. What we are going to learn in this chapter will be how the things are composed of different kinds of the matter, or we can say different kind of substances. So finally we can say that things are made up of certain simple substance which is called as element. Everything around us, even our own body, is made up of simple substance called elements. When 2 or more than 2 elements of different types, they are combining with each other, when they are combining among themselves, then they form compounds. Elements join to form compounds. So these are the 2 basic categories of substances. All the substances around us are made of elements as well as compounds. As it is written here, it is the elements and the compounds that account for all kind of matter. But everything around us is not a pure substance. It is not sure that everything will be made of elements or compounds. It can be a mixture of different elements also. Let us read here. Everything that we come across is not necessarily a pure element or a pure compound. It may be a mixture of elements, or it may be a mixture of compounds, or in fact we can also say it may be a mixture of elements and compounds both, which are not reacting with each other on being mixed with each other. Just for an example, we can take air around us. The air we breathe, it contains different elements, like oxygen is there, oxygen gas, nitrogen gas is also there in the same air around us. Even compounds like carbon dioxide and water vapor are also present. So all these substances, elements as well as the compounds, both are present in air. So air is such an example of a mixture of elements and compounds, and this is how different substances all around us are made of. So finally what we have learned from this introduction part, that you can please underline this line in your book. Substances are classified into 1 elements, 2 compounds and 3 mixture. Element, compound and mixtures are the 3 classification of the substances around us. Let us read the definition here of elements. What is an element? So element is a substance which we cannot split into simple substance by chemical means. When I say chemical means, it just implies that we are talking about a chemical change. We have discussed chemical changes or chemical reaction in the previous chapter number 1. We talked about it. The 2 type of changes are there in the nature, physical and chemical change. So if we do any chemical change, we do any chemical reaction, then it is not possible to split the substance into smaller part. Split means what? Split means we cannot break. It is not possible to break an element into simpler substances. It is not at all possible. So example we can take now of element: hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, magnesium, iron, aluminium, copper, silver, gold. All these are what? All these are element, example of various kind of the elements. We cannot split them into simpler, substance by chemical means or chemical change. And because of this reason only, that we cannot split them, they are called as the elements. How many elements we know till today? About 115. In fact, you can say more than 115 elements exist today. We discussed about Mendeleev, one of the famous scientists in chemistry. He gave the periodic table. We have studied about that in chapter number 1. So periodic table, when it was made, First time 63 elements were known at that time, but now we have the modern periodic table of classification of elements only. Now in that more than 115 elements are known today, and when more and more elements are discovered, they are added into this table. So that is all the definition of elements. Please put a tick on this. You have to learn this definition along with a few examples as they are given here. Learn this number of elements also, in case it is asked, you should be able to answer. Now let us see the classification. These elements can again be classified into two main categories. What are these? Please take this slide in your book. Elements are further classified broadly into the first category, that is called as the metals, and the second category, that is called as the non-metals. Let us see both of these one by one. First we'll talk about the metals. So most of the elements around us, they are generally metals only. Very few of them are non-metals. Maximum elements are metals. What are the properties of this metal? The following general properties we are going to learn. Let us see one by one. Point number one, first property here is that metals have a luster. When I say luster, it means they have a shine. They are generally shining in nature, and this shining is called as the metallic luster. Metals always have a luster, which is generally called metallic luster. Second property in the metals is that they are generally hard solid. They are strong, they are hard, and they can be beaten into sheets. We can convert them into sheets. Also we can convert them or draw them into the wires. We can make sheets of metal. Also we can convert them into the wires. Sheets example, very simple example you can take, like aluminium foil. Foil paper is used. You may be using for packing your food items in the lunchbox. When you keep food, you can cover it with a foil paper. Food will remain warm. Also you can take example of medicine wrappers. They are all made of aluminium foil only. So this is a strong metal, aluminium, but when it is regularly beaten, then it will convert into thin sheet, just like a normal paper only. Next, it can be drawn into wires. We all know electrical wires, all of them are made of metals. There is a single metal. We have just now discussed that metals are hard solid, but there is an exception to this. Please underline this name, mercury. Mercury is not a solid metal. It is the only metal that is liquid under normal conditions. You will find this in a thermometer. In the clinical thermometer, you will find it. And what it is used for? To measure the body temperature, to check whether you are suffering from fever or not. It can be used. So mercury is the only metal which is liquid. If it is asked name a liquid metal, answer will be mercury. Next property we come across now is about the metallic sound. We all know that when you hit any metallic object, then what will happen? It will produce a sound. Whenever it is struck, any kind of metal, it will generally produce a sound that is called as the metallic sound. Also it can be given the name of metallic clink. That is why all the bells are made of metals. Next, now heat as well as electric current can pass through metals. Yes, these are conductors of heat as well as electricity. Heat can transfer through the metals. That is why we make our utensils in the kitchen. When you see, all the utensils are made of metals only. Few of them are synthetic one, that is separate thing, but we cannot directly heat them. You can keep them in oven and all, but you cannot keep them on the gas stove. The ones which are made of steel or any kind of other metal, they are generally used for heating. Next is electric current. We all know the electric wires are made of metals. Why they are made of? Because the current can pass through them. So metals are conductors of electricity also. They can conduct electricity. So all of these properties are all over now. Now we will move on to the properties of the non-metals. So first property of the non-metal is they are dull looking. They are not having any shine. Just now we had discussed the property of metals. There we saw metals have a luster. They are lustrous or they are having a shining in them. But the non-metals are non-lustrous. They are not having any shine. They are dull looking. We have the exception here. Exceptions are important. Please learn them. Graphite is a non-metal which is shining. It is having luster. Iodine is another non-metal. It is also having luster. So these are the only two lustrous non-metals. These questions can be asked in exam. We can ask you name the non-metals which are lustrous, or we can say name a lustrous non-metal? So answer you can write graphite or iodine. You can ask both also. Next now the property second here is they are brittle. Brittle word if you ask the meaning it will be weak. Brittle means weak. So they are brittle matlab they are weak in the solid state, and if we are beating them they will break. Metal if we are beating they will not break, they are hard solid. Even if you are beating them they will not break, but they will convert into sheet. Regularly if you beat any metal it will not break, but it will convert into a sheet, like aluminum converts into aluminum foil paper. Irrespective of that thing, here something new is there. If you are beating the non-metal now, it will break easily. It will not convert into sheets, because the non-metals are brittle in the solid state, and they can, if you are bending them, if you are beating them, they will easily break because of being brittle. Next, they do not allow the heat or electric current to pass through them. This is why, because they are insulators. Insulators means they do not allow. They are bad conductors of electricity. Also, they are bad conductors of heat. Heat will not transfer through them. We cannot use any non-metal to make our utensils. Also, we cannot use any non-metals to make our electric wires, because they do not transfer heat or they do not conduct heat and electric current through them. There are exceptions always. Here also we have the exception of graphite. Graphite is the only non-metal which will work like electric wire only. It supplies electric current. So graphite is that non-metal. If it is asked, name the non-metal which is a conductor of electricity, only one answer is there, that is graphite, nothing else. Okay, next we have discussed in the previous part that metals, there's some problem in pointer. The metals are solid. Metals क्या होते हैं? Metals are solid. But when it comes to the non-metals, the non-metals are not solid generally. They can be solid, they can be liquid, also they can be gas. They can be any one of them. Solid, liquid, gas, any one of them. Solid state can be there, liquid state can be there, gases can be there. Which are the solid non-metals? Examples: carbon. Carbon example you can take coal. Coal is carbon only. Then sulfur, another example. Phosphorus is also solid non-metal. What about the liquid non-metal? Learn this name please. Only one answer is there, bromine. If we are asking this type of one-word questions can be asked in exam. Liquid non-metal, bromine. इससे पहले हमने learn किया था liquid metal, that was mercury. Mercury was the liquid metal, and liquid non-metal bromine. And what about the gases? Gases many are there: hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, argon, helium. All these are the gases which are, all the gases in fact are non-metal only, because metals are only solid only. Only liquid mercury is there, otherwise all the solids metal are there. No gas can be called as a metal. Okay, especially the gases like helium, neon, argon, noble gases, all of these are there. These are the noble gases which are very much inert. They do not react with any other thing. They are inactive gases. So they are called noble gases. And all these noble gases are what? All the noble gases are non-metals only. Okay, so that is all for this video. Next video will talk about how the elements are represented, and we'll continue to the topic of compounds, that also we'll be covering in the upcoming video. I hope that today's video all the concepts are clear. Still, if any doubt or problem appears, you are free to ask. Post your queries in the comment section below. Else you can send me the message personally using the Teams app. You can also ask the teacher taking your live classes on the Teams app. That is all for now. Thank you everyone.